Hi, Halan. Thank you very much for joining me today to talk about your fantastic achievements here at UCL Engineering. This is part of the INWED 2020 celebrations. So perhaps you could start by telling us a little bit about your area of research.
My PhD is in nature-inspired engineering, which is essentially solving engineering problems using lessons from nature. My research is on improving technology used in water treatment using inspiration from the kidney, as this technology has the tendency to become dirty with the contaminants that it's filtering out. The aim of my work is to try and increase the lifetime and the industrial applicability of this technology.
Wow, very impressive. So who or what inspired you to want to become an engineer?
So the first time that I was exposed to chemical engineering, I was at a careers day for physics-related degrees. Initially, what attracted me to chemical engineering was the use of chocolate in the demonstration. But what kept me interested was the principles of efficiency that they showed within the demonstration. I chose to continue with engineering because of the potential that the work that we do as engineers to help shape a better society today and in the future.
Chocolate would work for me every time.
Yeah.
What's your favourite part of your job?
So my favourite part of research is also arguably the most frustrating part, which is the constant learning. So more often than not, research doesn't always turn out the way that you would want or expect it to. So which means that we spend a lot of our time problem solving. And as frustrating as it can be, it means that you can always reflect back to see how much you've improved as a researcher in comparison to last year, last month, and even last week.
What's the most valuable lesson you've learned so far?
The most valuable lesson I've learned is the importance of outreach. This is something that I've done throughout my undergraduate degree, and I've continued now. Something that I've realized with age is the importance of representation within within outreach, within STEM, to try and tackle issues with perceptions of who engineers are and what they do. Though sometimes I do feel that I benefit more from outreach than the students I engage with, as it's always a very good reminder of why you're doing what you're doing, as perspective isn't always easy to keep when you don't look back at this bigger picture often.
Can you describe a typical day for you pre-lockdown?
As cliche as it sounds, every day was different. Most of my time is spent in the lab, but what I did in the lab varied day to day based on where I was in a project. So some days I'd be working more on synthesis, and in other days I would be in different labs or in different departments, trying to find out whether what I've been doing was successful, and if it was, how well it worked.
And how has the current COVID-19 situation affected your work and your work-life balance?
As with many people during this pandemic, finding a balance between work and life has been difficult at times. However, I've been very lucky. I don't have any caring responsibilities, so most of my problems have been solved by trying to keep a routine and to try and give myself time to switch off in the evenings.
A new routine is key, I think. And finally, what advice would you give a younger person, or even your younger self, a person that wanted to enter the STEM related field of study? What advice would you give them? My
advice would be to reach out to people in the field that you want to work or study in. I know that not everyone has someone within their circle that they can ask questions to, but something that I have learned is that you'll be surprised at the number of people who will be willing to share their experiences with you, even if they don't personally know you. So my advice to both my younger self and to those who want to work or study in STEM-related fields is to try and find someone that does what you want to do, or even organizations that promote STEM, and just try and reach out, and you'll be surprised the number of people who will be willing to share their experiences, as long as it's done within an appropriate setting.
That's great advice. Thank you very much, Halan. Really good to talk to you.
Thank you for having me.